All right, NXT. Well, we got this show before Homecoming. And I will say, it's not bad. I'm not perfectly happy with the build to Homecoming, but it's not a bad build to Homecoming. Let's open Josh Briggs versus, Devon Evans. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I truly thought Devon Evans was going to win this match. I truly did, because of how they've been booking him lately. And understand, I'm not against Devon. I'm not. But I had thought, if you're doing something with Josh, I don't think having Josh deal with Devon and lose to Devon would really be good for Josh, unless they're about to get rid of him. They're about to get rid of Josh. They've had him on the roster for more than a few years now. He's as developed as he's going to be. Either they're going to get ready to bring him up to the main roster, or they're just going to keep him NXT, or they're going to dump him. This is not meant to be against Josh. I actually like Josh Briggs. He's got decent development. He's a decently good wrestler. He's got a decent look. But if they're not going to do anything with him, either they're going to bring him up to the main roster, or they're going to drop him. They're going to release him. So they're going to have to do something. So what did we get here? A decent match. But then at near the end of the match, you get Josh breaking off his chain, not really wrapping around the hand. He barely got it there and hit Devon in the back of the head or near the jaw to knock him out. Everyone saw he cheated and he won. But the big question is going to be, will this win lead him somewhere? Because, guys, he's been on the roster for about easily 3 to 4 years of NXT. Easily 3 to 4 years. He has been on the roster, worked with Fallon, he worked with Jensen, and they got to do something with him. They just released Jensen up at least a couple of months ago. I say about a month or two ago. He's been released. He's gone. So they got to do something with him. Either going to start using him to make talent look good that are being brought up, because they're getting ready to bring more talent onto the main rosters, which, if they do, the only thing they're going to do is sit in the back, because they're not really doing a lot with the current ones they have now. Or they're going to drop him. That's the big question. Next, the Speed Championship Tournament. Let me give it to you like this. Last week when we saw the Pixie going up against a Xia Brookside, I would have hoped they would let a TNA wrestler go halfway through into the tournament to at least make it look like TNA is getting somewhere. Like they're actually valuing TNA and not just seeing them as just an asset. Because that's what it feels like. For me personally, I'm going to make this clear, but side tangent, putting this aside. Let's put NXT aside. Let's look at TNA. TNA has been doing decently good booking, more better than usually NXT has been doing lately. Raw and SmackDown. Let's make this very clear. Raw and SmackDown's booking has not been good. Of course, AJ Lee has come back, and I'll talk about this. I'm going to make a video right after this. Before I upload, I'm actually going to make a video. I've been really considering what we're going to get with AJ Lee. So I'm going to make a video after this. But I'm telling you this. Next to AJ Lee appearing now, really they have not had anything for Raw SmackDown. Period. Other than John Cena going through Brock, which, to be honest, I'm not really big on seeing Brock go against Cena. I'd rather see Cena go up against somebody else that you wouldn't expect. But seeing Brock for the last time with Cena is something that can be seen. But AJ Lee's all they got. So the only company right now that's been doing some decent booking, shockingly, has been TNA. And I was hoping Xia Brookside would be valued in that respect. No. So what did we get here? We got Lucy Wren, I believe that's her name, and then Phoebe Apache. Now, I've seen Phoebe Apache before. Now, I'm not saying I'm a fond of Phoebe Apache. She doesn't look bad. But this is still AAA, which really isn't AAA anymore. It doesn't exist. No matter if anyone here is Spanish who watches AAA, whether they're Spanish, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Mexican, it don't make a difference. There is no AAA. AAA is only there in name. They don't exist anymore. They've been bought out by WWE, which they don't really care about it as long it doesn't get in the way. They don't care. As long as AAA doesn't get in the way of what they normally do, they're going to leave it exactly where it is. It will barely be valued, except in Mexico. And with Phoebe Apache, you would think you should push her. She's from AAA. She should be pushed. She should go through the Speed title tournament to the end. That would be the wisest thing to do, to show, if you cared about AAA, to show Phoebe Apache means something. No. Now, you could say, well, World's End is coming up, and now Natty, who legitimately should not be in World's End, she should be Bound for Glory. I'm being honest here. If you want to make WWE mean something with TNA, make Natalya go to Bound for Glory and go up against Marsha Slamovich. Or better yet, well, if Marsha wins at Victory Road, we don't know yet. But if Marsha wins, I want to see her go up against Natalya. Someone you would never see in TNA. Yeah, she's been in NWA, but let's see her in TNA, which we have not seen once. But she's the one that Phoebe Apache is going to be dealing with at World's End. Do I care about World's End? No. I want to see something other than World's End for TNA. Give us something with TNA, but we're not going to get that. We're going to get World's End with AAA, which, to be honest, if you're going to look at it honestly, I don't expect AAA to come out looking like roses in this pay-per-view, this PLE. I do not see them coming out looking good. This is not going to look good for them. And if I'm right, the woman who owned AAA is going to watch this show and she's going to say, what the fuck? I was promised that AAA is going to look great. They're not going to look great. I'm telling you right now, NXT is going to come out on top. I would be shocked if NXT did not come out on top when it comes to the first World's End. They're going to be dominant and it's going to be ugly. I'm just saying. But Phoebe Apache didn't win. She was distracted by Natalya by just looking back at her. And Lacey Wren wins. Don't really care about Lacey Wren. Don't. I just don't. Or is it Lacey Red? But anyway, let's move on. Next match. Hank and Tank versus Dark State. Let's make this very clear. I'm going to be honest here. I'm being straight. I don't even want to talk about the match. I still don't care about Dark State. There's only one person in there that I really think is interesting, and that's Cutler. That's it. I don't care about Sugar. I don't care about, Isis. What is it? Isis? Is it Isis? Osiris, there you go. I don't even remember his name because he doesn't feel special. I don't even care about Lennox. I don't care about him. They feel blank. The only one that had some level of character is Cutler, acting so peculiar and freaky. Everyone else, I don't care. They don't feel important. Now, when they were working with TNA, they did feel somewhat important because they are invading TNA. I would rather see them continue invading TNA than NXT because they don't feel important in NXT. Hell, they don't even feel important to WWE. I would like to see them go onto the main roster and screw with them there. Then at least it would have been a change-up. Have Dark State go to Raw, SmackDown, and fuck with them there. But no. We just got them NXT and then TNA. And they felt more important than TNA. This match, I did not expect Hank and Tank to win. And even with Joe Henry there, they made the decision not to let Hank and Tank get the titles back. Joe was like that when it was over. Because they won. Right now, what is Joe doing? He's playing along with Hank and Tank, who are not here. Who are not here. They're here. They may be comedic and people do like them. They're not here. They're not here. They're here right now. And they're working with Dark State, who are here. You guys tell me below what you think. Next. The flag match. I don't understand why this is what. Wouldn't it have been better to put this on World's End? They've been building this for more than a month. They've been building up this story between Ethan Page and Tavion Heights. Wouldn't it have been more important to have it on Homecoming, not World's End? I'm thinking about the next show. On Homecoming, my apology. Wouldn't it have been better for next week? Wouldn't it have been important for next week? No, they're doing it now. And it wasn't a bad match. And unfortunately, that we saw a really bad botch. I'm sorry. I think I'm going to add this in the image. It should be in my face. When Tavion decided to charge at Ethan Page, they both went through the ropes. And Ethan was at such a bad angle. I believe I got the shot of it. When he goes out of the ring ropes and he's heading straight down, he jacked his neck. He went so forward on his neck. I thought, oh shit, I think he's hurt. Of course, he got back up. He seemed to be all right, but it does not mean that he didn't feel that. He literally had his chin in his collarbone. Right here, not his collarbone. Right in his chest. That is how far inward his head went. Not here. It was here. That was bad. Now, he was able to get back up. He managed to finish the match. And Tavion won. But now, instead of using this at Homecoming to continue to promote this storyline that could mean something, it feels like it's over. Now, is it over? No, but it could feel like it. It's just me. You guys tell me below. It feels like the story between Ethan and Tavion is done. Now, is Steele's over with Chelsea? Don't know. What is that woman's name? Not Steele's. Tasha Steeles. I believe that's her. No, Tyra Steeles. I'm sorry. Tyra Steeles. The question is going to be, what's their story going to be like? And to be honest, Tyra, I'm not feeling her. She is blank. Now, mind you, she's only been on the main roster very, very briefly, barely in a month. Not even a month, a couple of weeks, nearing a month. So she has a lot of work to do to build a character. Now, I did see a little bit of her in LFG, and how she feels like she can get it done and do it. Thinking that, and then going from being on that show to NXT, and then the main show, even if she's really liked, doesn't mean she's going to get it done. Kurt Angle was a very unique individual. He was able to translate so well from going from being a wrestler with a broken neck and a gold medal to being a character. He was able to get it done. Chad Gable took a while before he could do it. It took him a long while to finally learn, more than a few years to learn it. And she's going to have to go through it. Let's see if she can do it. Now, the last match, the three-way to see who would be the number one contender for the tag championships. Fatal Influence versus... let me give you it like this. When you see Fatal Influence, as well as see what I don't know. Almost forgot. Tyler Breeze showed up, which he's going after the North American title. My apologies. Almost forgot Tyler Breeze. That is one thing I'm looking very forward to Homecoming. But we now have the three-way, the Culling versus Fatal Influence versus Zaruka. I don't know why they came up with that name. Why did they come up with that name? Look, the match was not the issue here. It is what we've been waiting. Are they finally going to pull the trigger between Zarya and Zaruka? Because Soul Snatcher was used on Zarya by accident. And Zaruka realized she screwed up. But they've been teasing this for quite a while. Where Zarya, who made it very clear before the match even happened, I must win a title. And she was asking, so how are you going to be able to have all three of those titles? She said, I'm going to stack them up or put one on my shoulder, whatever. But Zarya made it clear, I must win a title. Because that's what I felt was the most important thing out of this match. Of course, the ending of what we got with the ladies of former NXT, I will talk about in a minute. But that is the big question here. Will they actually pull the trigger, or are they going to keep dragging this out? Because honestly, at this point, it needs to end by Homecoming. They need to end this. Because if they're going to wait until the next PLE to finally do it, if they're not going to do it Homecoming, they better do it here. Because if they drag it beyond the next pay-per-view, and they don't do nothing here, they don't do anything there, what is the point of even doing it? This is not a slow burn, guys. This is just dragging it out. It would have been more effective maybe about a month ago. But if they do it next week, if they don't, they better do it on the next PLE. If they don't end it there, this storyline where it looks like Soruka or Zarya is going to get pissed at the other, and it's going to probably be Sol getting nailed by Zarya. That's the way it looks. But the key here is they better do it. Now, after the match was over, and it was the Culling who won. I didn't expect the Culling to win. I expect Fatal Influence to win. But there was a reason why I didn't win. Because they want them to have a 6-woman match at Homecoming, because they decided to drag out Stephanie Vakir, who had no development at all. Then you got Tiffany Stratton, who did have pretty good development before she left the roster. And the one who's the most oldest out of any one of those women who has been on the main roster and came back. That was, and I was actually happy to see her there, Rhea Ripley. It made perfect sense. If it wasn't going to be Asuka, because that's the only other person I could see they could bring out. But Asuka's in the story currently with Io Shirai. And you got Kyrie caught in the middle. I didn't think they would actually pull her out there, but seeing Rhea was the wisest thing because she got the biggest pop. Yes, Stephanie got a pop, you got Tiffany got a pop, and Tiffany got some titties showing. That girl was showing almost everything except the nipple. She literally wanted everyone to see except the nipple. She wanted everyone to know, yeah, my titties are huge. They're huge when they're probably not. She only just needed to show a little bit of nipple and she would have been topless. But the point is, Rhea being the one there was the best person to do it. And now we're going to get this match at Homecoming. Is it going to be a great match? It'll be alright. But the person that's going to make it mean something will be Rhea. That's the key. It's going to be Rhea. Rhea's the most strongest woman in the entire company. She's it. And even though AJ Lee just came back, and I will do a video after this, and I'll probably release it maybe Wednesday this Wednesday or maybe Thursday. But this is how it is. Now, what did I think about DIY, Trick Williams, and a little bit of Mello is money? I'm going to say this. I didn't expect Carmelo Hayes to come back. And I didn't expect Carmelo Hayes to 100% like Trick. But at this point, they wanted to make DIY have a team that had something similar to themselves, because Mello and Trick had a very similar story to Gargano and Ciampa. The only difference is their matches are not even close to Ciampa and not close to Gargano. They just are not. But they are the closest they have in NXT to themselves. That's why they picked them. Seeing that Gargano and Ciampa, notice that they got the same type of chemistry, it was okay. Seeing that Mello made it very clear, you are messing with the guys who built this house, the guys who renovated the house, and you squatting. I like that. That wasn't bad for Mello. Mello, when he's on it, he can talk pretty well. So he talked decently well. And Trick, to be honest, sound better than him. That doesn't mean it's that Mello can't talk. It's just in this situation, and I do think it's due to the fact that Trick has spent a lot of time going between NXT and now his exposure to TNA. His his style of talking has improved dramatically. You cannot deny that Trick Willie has actually improved as a promoist. Yeah, that's a word. A promoist. He has improved dramatically. Now, he's not like the best talker there is, but he's way better than he was before he did it. And Trick was pretty good when he talked. But now, because he had to be exposed to other wrestlers outside the company, he learned a couple of things working in TNA. And you can see that style of his. He's not perfect. He's still got more to learn. But at least I can say what I originally I said and predicted when I saw him in Halloween Havoc and going into that fun house with Mello more than a few years ago. I said it on this channel. Look, Trick's going to have to break away from Mello. He's got the look. He also has a good way of talking. He needs to show if he can wrestle. And he's done that exactly as I thought he would. So I'm giving this a Trick. He's done very well for himself. He's not perfect, but he's there. Hell, he worked with the Taker. That shows you they have some investment in him. But the big question is, and I'm saying this now, before we finish, will he translate to the main roster? That's going to be the big question. So this show leading into Homecoming is not bad. It's pretty good. I am interested in seeing how they're going to book Homecoming. But it's just me. Enjoy. Peace.